Hello, welcome to The Conversation on New Central Television. This is a program where we bring you up to speed with all the political happenings on the African continent. I am Gbenga Aborowa.
And I'm Rita Omodia. Now, today on The Conversation, we will be looking at situations in Zimbabwe after the country on Thursday approved a controversial law that is banning criticism of the government. A law that, according to the parliament, promotes patriotism and unity in the South African country.
We will then move conversations to West Africa, where there have been clashes between police and protesters in the Senegalese capital, Dakar, after a court handed down a 2-year prison sentence to the opposition leader, Ousmane Sonko, after he was convicted of immoral behavior towards someone under the age of 21.
Definitely a lot of situations. We're seeing protests going on in Senegal. It's been ongoing even before the verdict. And finally, now that there's been the verdict, there are still lots of protests.
It triggered a lot of protests. Yes. And, you know, it's quite unfortunate because Senegal has been a bastion of peace and stability in West Africa. But let's hope they sort out their differences soon so normalcy can return to Dakar and environment.
We do hope so, because we would have expected a whole lot from Macky Sall. I mean, being an AU chairperson, he should be above board to do what is necessary. And
a lot of people say it's all political, but when we get into the crust of the gist, we will get more details about the situation in Senegal.
All right, now, so before going to the business of the day, it seems we're yet to get enough of the controversies in Nigeria's polity, especially in one of the country's major opposition parties, that is the People's Democratic Party, as a Benue State High Court earlier today upheld the suspension of former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Iyorchia Ayu.
The embattled chairman was in March suspended by his Nyorov Council Ward ESCO over failure to pay dues and anti-party activities, which they said contributed to the PDP's loss in the state. Let's get the reaction of a party chieftain on this development. Chief Bode George, PDP chieftain, joins us on The Conversation live from Lagos, Nigeria. A warm welcome to you, Chief George, and thanks for joining us on The Conversation. What's your reaction to the recent court ruling that affirmed the suspension and removal of Senator Iyorchia Ayu from his position as PDP chairman?
You know, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity. Alrighty. Now, as per the ruling on the chairman of the party, what I will say as a very senior member of this party and an irredentist PDP man is, now I am begging all the sectors, all the various groups, to calm down, all right? There will be a post-mortem analysis at the end of the court ruling, you know, the presidential cases in the court. And once that is done, there will be a need for us to do an in-depth analysis, post-mortem analysis of what happened, pre, post, and the way forward. This, like I said on so many occasions, a divided house is always a defeated house. Yes, Iyorchia Ayu promised he will leave, but adventure, the presidential candidate emerges from the north. He failed to honor his pledge, and that led us into where we found ourselves. But I don't want to preempt the outcome of the judiciary for now. But at the end of all that, there will be a post-mortem analysis, and there will be no patching up. The house will have to be re-engineered. The house will have to be sanitized. We will have to clean the audience table so that the PDP can go back to the tenets for which the founder fathers established this party. We made a lot of errors, we made a lot of mistakes, and I hope at the end of our post-mortem analysis, we would have come to a very fruitful decision that would now put the party back on the pedestal on which it was established. So for me, my comment is, well, we started it. You see the way the whole thing is going. This is the first time in the history of this party that our chairman had been, cashiered by the court. That doesn't all go well for a very, very well-established political party like ours.
Okay. All right, now, still, aside this post-mortem that we're waiting for, as a party stalwart of the People's Democratic Party, we see how big the People's Democratic Party is. But Iyorchia Ayu, aside the fact that most members of the party were angry with him, that he did not allow for a southern presidential candidate despite being from the north or even withdrawing his position. Now we're seeing the fact that he failed to pay his membership dues and it played a role in the court decision. For you, how would you assess his leadership style for the People's Democratic Party? Would you say that he has done well for the party and led the party the right way?
No, you see, whatever Ayu thinks in his mind, I can confidently and openly tell you, I had a private meeting with him in his house in Abuja, trying to talk to him as my junior brother on the efficacies, the problems that were overwhelming the party. Look, he refused to listen. He said, if we want to win this, if we want to lose that, I said, you can't say that as the chief manager of the party. But that's all history now. Whether he goes away or he doesn't go away, there must be a post-mortem analysis of what happened with the party so that we don't end up the way of AD or AMPP, because this party was established by some highly committed elders, people who had experienced the First Republic, people who had practiced politics for a long time, who were never on the same pages politically. They came together and, like, can you imagine Chief Bola Ige sitting in the political one room with Dr. Alex Ekweme, with Jinwe Bodo, with Papa Solomon La, with Rimi, with Papa Chiroma, and so many of them who completely, forgot about their political leanings and in the interest of Nigeria came together to form a party that is national in its outlook, a party that has the colors from the southern flanks, from the swampy forest in the south to the savannah region in the north, and came up with a concept that was acceptable, it was workable. They divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones so that the concept that sent the First Republic to the canvas would never repeat itself. And what was that? That the majority had their way and the minority were mere onlookers, both north and south. But dividing Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones with the 6 top positions, it meant every zone, whether you are majority or minority, will go home with a top position. And after 8 years, all the positions in the north will come to the south. All the positions in the south will go to the north. It's not novel, because that is what is done in Switzerland. You know, there are 3 major tribes in Switzerland. The Germans, located in Zurich, the Italians in Lugano, the French in Geneva. And they rotated, and they still rotate the headship of their country. And it is one major country in the heart of Europe that has never experienced any world war. They were there when the First World War happened. All the countries around them were fighting. Nothing happened in Switzerland because justice, fairness, and equity were respected. So that was how these our founding fathers established 6 geopolitical zones. And this is not in our constitution. The national constitution is not there. But they made it a workable concept that will bring togetherness, oneness, and that can develop into national character. And we worked it. It was working for 16 years. But when after the 16th year, we lost the election, and then we were coming back, you now had the presidency and the chairmanship coming from the same zone. You can see now what the APC is trying to do. They better sit down, otherwise they will collapse themselves. And I'm not joking. Because nobody is higher than anybody else. We are all human beings. Nobody decided, oh, please God, I'm going to be born. Can I be born a Hausa man, an Ijo man, a Yoruba man, an Igbo man? No, you just popped out. So
now,
human
Chief
beings
George,
are human
with
beings. No
Senator Ayu no longer serving as chairman, what measures should the People's Democratic Party take to ensure a smooth transition of leadership and maintain the party's momentum? Are there any potential candidates being considered for the vacant position? And what qualities will the party prioritize, should the party prioritize in selecting a new chairman?
No, now, new chairman. Now, let me say it this way. I told you, we ran through certain crises. We went to the election, a divided house. Until we finish the post-mortem analysis, what led us there? Did we deviate from the norm? You just can't start jumping in and saying, bring one chairman, bring this one. That's patching up the system. We are yet to get back to the original concept for which this party will remain on a stable platform. If we patch it up, bring another chairman, it wasn't Ayu. Ayu was not alone on this issue. There were many of them that were part and parcel of the mess. So the party has to go into depth. If we want to patch up, say, yes, replace this one, bring that one, that is not helping the party. Let us quickly settle down, do a post-mortem, analyze the results, why this headed that, have we deviated from the norm, put back the norm. That's why I said earlier on, we need to clean the audience table. We need to re-engineer the platform of the party. We need to stabilize the party, to sterilize the party. It's not a matter of just replacing Ayu. What will be the qualities? The qualities of the national chairman are well stated in the constitution of our party. We are not reinventing the wheel. All we need to do was to correct the mistake of the past so that we can be a very formidable party. And who says we may not win in the court? We can still win in the court. We are still waiting. So don't jump the gun now. This is not the time for political rascality. Let's calm down, finish the courts, then we go on and revisit the reasons why we were wherever we will be at the end of the case in court, and then rebuild the party. If we don't do that, then mark my word, and I am not saying it lightly. We may not survive. If we are not careful, we may not survive. The party was heavily divided, and a divided house is a defeated house. Although we are still contesting in the court, look at recently too. We lost a very formidable member of the party, Raymond. We lost him, out of all the struggle, the fighting, which was absolutely unnecessary. So, and people, some are still jumping ship. Oh, they want to go to APC, they want to go here, that's not the issue. Let us sit down at the end of the court cases, We will do a post-mortem analysis. All the things you are asking, what kind of morals, what kind of attitude, what do we expect, they're well stated in the party constitution.
Right.
But let us respect that constitution. Let's do what is right. Right now, they took us to war, divided, and we are being bam on the floor. So we must go back. Why did we take such and such steps? Why did we alter course in this particular situation? If we don't do that, we don't rush into it. There is no election until the next 4 years after the court session. So we can rebuild the party, ready to face the whoever is in government, creditably and with good intentions. And united, we will stand. So for me, we are not rewriting what are the modes of effect, what are these, they're there.
Okay.
And what will we do in the future to prevent anybody from flouting the rules of the games? That's all.
Thank you so much for your candid thoughts. Definitely the party needs to go back to the drawing table and make things right. We'll definitely wait to see how the party fares after all of this. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation.
Thank you.